Hello, welcome. This is Kenshin1993 and we are showcasing a brand new game. I don't get... Oh, you know what? It must have been in the thing. Windows 10, damn you. Anyways, this is Dragon Quest III. The Seeds of Salvation. Now, this is actually going to be pretty much a Let's Showcase video. And I'm going to show you why this game is not as good as the other Super Famicom and Game Boy Color versions. So what we're going to do is listen to the wonderful opening and then we're going to start the game. Or at least show off the game. But yeah, there's a couple of things that this game is lacking that the other two remakes are so much better at doing. So I'm just going to show you that, and pretty much that's it. I know it's been a while since I tried to record this, but my computer crashed, and I had to get a new one, so now, hopefully, everything will be good. But yeah, so, we're going to showcase this game. Bum. Bum, bum. So, there you go. That is Dragon Quest III, Seeds of Salvation. That's the little title that they gave it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but what are you gonna do? Anyways, not that I don't like this game. Dragon Quest III is a very good game, but this version is inferior, and I'm gonna explain why as we go through. So, I'm gonna name my character Kylo Ren, after the pretty badass Sith guy from Star Wars. But yeah, so first off, the first thing you're gonna notice that's wrong with this game is one, there is no Ortega. There's no Ortega opening. What the fuck? How come they didn't have an Ortega opening? Like during that whole thing, I'm waiting for the Ortega opening. There's none. Anyways, this is the hardest part of the game. Also trying to... There's no space here that I could just hit a space and then type in Ren. So I'm just gonna use the dash. Anyways, yeah, there's no Ortega opening. Meaning you don't get to see him fight on the volcano. You don't get to see his little journey like they showed in the Super Famicom, and I think even the Game Boy Color version. They pretty much start you off right over here, and the first thing that's really wrong is you can't move the middle. You can't move that thing from the middle yet. You pretty much have to answer these questions just like you did in the remake versions, which I'm not 100% sure if they use that engine or not. You know? I don't know if they use that engine. Yes, let's begin. But if they didn't use that engine, the engine that they used to do, I'm just gonna name myself, Joel, that's my name. Yeah, March 30th, sure. Yeah, I'm an Aries. Anyways, yeah, they just pretty much jump right into this. There's no Ortega opening, so that's one strike against you. And yeah, you're gonna see these questions. I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna try to answer them as if Kylo Ren was answering them. But, yeah, so the first strike, no Ortega opening. Even in the NES, they had an Ortega opening. There is none. The next strike is actually going to be coming up. Now, don't get me wrong. This game is actually a great game. Like I said, if you've never played any of the, if you need to play like Dragon Quest on the go and you only have like a mobile device or whatever, this is a good game to do. But I would look into playing either the Game Boy Color version or the Super Famicom version. But I'm not saying that this is bad. Yeah, I enjoy physical pursuits. Yes, the most irritating things. Yes, I spring in the action. So yeah, this is pretty much giving you the personality system, which is pretty much very similar to the way that they did it in the Super Famicom version. But this one's a little different because I feel like some of the classes or some of the personalities, I had no idea like what was going on with them. I had to like literally look in the manual to see, or in the old thing to see what was going on. So we got Dickie and Bruv, or Brother. The edge of the desert is 3 days walk, and we've got a day's worth of water, so you're off on your own. Bruv, I'll do what I have to do. Yeah, there's no point in both of you dying. But Bruv! But yeah, unlike when I was playing it for the Super Famicom, I you know, used my I don't know, I used the chart to figure out how I want to make my personalities. In this game, I'm just going to show you a few things, and then that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is a Let's Showcase Dragon Quest III. And yeah, I really think you should just leave your brother. You're both not, would you rather both die in the desert? So yeah, and like I said, this is still a very enjoyable game. But, yeah, and apparently Kylo Ren is a thug. But, you know, it's just not, I don't know, it's not up to par. There's nothing new to this game that would make me want to do an LP on it. So that's why I'm actually going to skip this game. Unlike well, there was really nothing new about Dragon Warrior 1, but I figured I would start on that anyways with the iOS. 2, at least there was a lot of like there was a couple of new features they added and stuff like that. In this game, there really isn't anything new. They actually take away some things. So that's why I recommend, if you have a Game Boy Color or an emulator, to play the Super Nintendo version or Super Famicom or the even the Game Boy Color version. And look, there's Leia. Oh, did I spoil something? Anyways, yes. I'm a big brave boy. Where's Han Solo? Alright, so now you can finally change your thing. So let's go over... This is pretty much played just like any of the iOS games. I wonder if this was based on the 1 and 2 engine, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 engine. Alright, so you can go through pretty much all your stuff. You know, your spells, your stats. They gave you the bag in this game where you have the infinite bag, which is nice. They got the heal all option, which is nice as well. So it pretty much is based on the Dragon Quest 6 engine, but I don't know, it's just not. This game's, like I said, it's not bad, it's just missing things that make it really shine. Alright, so let's go talk to the king. And yeah, the music is very good. They do add a couple extra, like, sound thingies to the certain tracks. So yeah. And yeah, Ortega, he fell into a volcano. Sadly, we don't get to see that. We don't get to see him travel across the world like we did in that little montage in the beginning of the Super Nintendo one. And hell, even the Game Boy Color, although it's been forever since I played the Game Boy Color one. So, they've pretty much given me 50 gold and some equipment. The king is a cheapskate, but whatever. So yeah, they renamed pretty much all the spells and stuff in this game, all the enemies, pretty much to fit with the remainder of the world from the other games. So pretty much now all the enemies and spells and all that stuff are now named what they're supposed to be, or what they're named now. None of the old stuff is around anymore, which I am alright with, I guess, to a point. I'm alright with it. I realize that, you know, they changing it to make everything kind of like slimline. Anyways, we're gonna pick up our 3 party members, our warrior, our cleric or priest, and our wizard. and here you can actually make your own characters as well. And yeah, Patty is now going to be a long-standing tradition. We got a daydreamer, an acrobat, and a princess. All these party guys are actually pretty bad, to be honest, for personality-wise. So I'm just gonna transfer the stuff to these guys, just so they have some equipment. Because I will show battles, a couple battles as well. So, all right. So let's come up over here, and over here we can actually make our own characters, whatever you want. So, like the unlike the remakes, they have the extra character. You can be a sage. A thief. You can be a thief, which is pretty cool. And yeah, they give you seeds to adjust these guys' thing. And I wish I'd clicked do it myself, but I let this guy do it, and I was an idiot about that. But that's all right. Anyways, I don't know. There you go. He's a Lothario, which again, I'm not 100% sure what a couple of these personalities are. I wish they were kind of kept them the way they were in the original, so I could understand them a little bit more. But all right, let me show you the next biggest change that they did, which is actually probably a good thing, I guess. I guess not a lot of people like the Pachisi board from Dragon Quest III, and they brought that to 5. I don't know if they did 6. But they had like a big Pachisi board, and yeah, here's the mini medal man, where we can come and once we collect mini medals throughout the world, we can get treasures, which is pretty nice. Now, what they ended up doing was for the mini medals, they pretty much, since they got rid of the Pachisi tracks, they added the extra treasures in the mini medal thing. So anything that you'd be getting as you went to the Pachisi track, you will now be getting through mini medals. I think there's still the same amount of mini medals, but now there's more treasures to get. So yeah, they got rid of the Pachisi tracks, which kind of sucks because that was kind of fun. But what are you going to do? They got rid of it. Some people are probably happy about that because I know a couple people who didn't care for the Pachisi tracks, but they were a lot of fun. They added like an extra layer of mini games. Now it's just go around and collect shit. But yeah, here's a little opening of this song. There we go. So yeah, the music is pretty good. They didn't really need to add that if they didn't want to. But whatever. Alright, here's fighting. I'm just gonna keep those other guys. But yeah, here's the third thing that really sucks about this game. They didn't make the goddamn animated. They didn't animate the damn monsters. What the fuck? I don't understand why they didn't animate these guys. They must have taken the engine from 1 and 2 and put Dragon Warrior 3 on it. That's what they must have done, because I feel like, this is a big step down from the remakes. Now, I mean, it isn't like a deal breaker. You could still play the game, and it's still enjoyable, but knowing that the other remakes had all these other features, like a cool mini game, they had the opening, the Ortega opening, and the enemies, like, literally friggin' were animated. This game is not as good as those. So I'm actually gonna stop here, and I'm gonna show you my characters, because this is it. I wouldn't leave. To be honest, I wouldn't leave a Dragon Warrior 3 game without at least playing Ramia's theme. So let's just go to my beating game thing. And yeah, there still are like the bonus dungeons in this version. Like after you beat the game, you can go to the Zenithian Tower or whatever, the bonus dungeon. And yeah, here's my stats for these characters. I worked on them for quite a bit, getting Scarlet, you know, to learn all these abilities and shit. But yeah, there's still, this is one thing that's nice, is the speed up button. But yeah, there's still like the bonus dungeon at the end of the game after you beat it. You can go through that, you can go through the tower and then fight a dragon and get a wish, and then you can bring back Ortega if you want. But yeah, as you can see over here would be the Pachisi track, but it's not there. What are you gonna do? So yeah, I just have to say that this version is probably a little inferior than the other versions, and they must have used the engine of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 for the iOS or whatever, the mobile device, and they made this game. And they didn't add any animations. They have animations for spells, but no animations for the monsters. No Pachisi track and no Ortega opening says no for me, so that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna fly around so you can hear the Ramia theme. But yeah, like I said, if you have to pick this game up, and for the iOS or Android or whatever, if you want to pick it up, I would say I would recommend it. Just know that it's not as good as, or it's some parts of the game are lacking compared to the other remakes. If you could pick up those instead, I would. But if you can't, this is about as good as you're gonna get for a on-the-go Dragon Quest 3. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this Let's Showcase Dragon Quest 3 for the iOS or Android. And now I'm just trying to find someone to land here. But yeah, it took me a while to upload, edit this or get this, you know, shown and all that, but I apologize for that. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna stop the video here. I hope you've enjoyed this this showcase of this game. Even if there is enough, even if there's enough, you know, people want to see me play it, I'm not going to, because it just doesn't offer enough. I'm gonna work on another game. So I've been Kenshin1913, and this has been Let's Showcase Dragon Quest 3 for the iOS and Android. Goodbye.